Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back. Michael LaFido. Welcome to a Luxury Fridays. I'm your host, Michael LaFido. You're in the right place. If you're an agent, you're a team leader, you're a broker owner, you're looking to work smarter, not harder, and increase your average sale price. If you're watching on Instagram, don't forget to go to luxuryfridays.com. Click on that first top link and it'll redirect you over to our platform where you can answer questions. You can ask questions. We'll answer your questions. We'll bring you on camera. Please let us know where you're watching from, and we'd be happy to bring you on screen. From time to time, we will have special guests. Today, I was going to have a good colleague friend of ours, Trey Scott, on, who's battling some health ailments right now. And I'm actually going to have Trey on Monday. He's going to be on our podcast. We're not going to have Trey on today, but Trey will be on our podcast. You're not going to want to miss that episode. We just about to release our 188th episode next week, our podcast. You can go to luxurylistingpodcast.com for more information there. Again, I'm your host, Michael LaFido, and we look forward to talking to you about some pretty trendy topics that are going on right now in real estate. And as always, if you guys have any questions, we call them AMA, Ask Me Anything. You can ask me all things real estate related. You know, last 3 weeks, we've been attending conferences, networking with other top agents and top luxury consultants. And next week, we're going to be in San Antonio for a couple conference, a conference called T3 Summit, where C-level executives will be. So we're really excited about that. So by all means, please chime in, Michael LaFido, and let me just grab my water here, and we are all set. I am, if you haven't heard, I'm a little under the weather, so if I'm a little congested, forgive us. For those of you that are watching the replay of this, you can always go to luxuryfridays.com to figure out when our next live stream is going to be, or the easiest thing to do would be go to YouTube, search Marketing Luxury Group, hit that subscribe button, and so whenever we go live, whenever we have an upcoming live video, you'll be notified in real time. All right. Where's everybody watching from? If you would, just so I know your speakers are in, everybody can hear me okay, type in where you're watching from, and we want to make sure that we give you guys your props, we give you shout outs. Here we are on Friday, April 29th, 2022. Don't forget, forgive me, I'm going to have to probably take more water breaks than normal. Don't forget, if you guys are getting value from today's episode or maybe a previous one, leave us a like, leave us a review. For those of you that have maybe read our book in the past, Luxury Listing Specialist, same thing. If you're getting some nuggets from it, if you're getting value, please don't keep it a secret, share it with others. We want to hear your success stories. So if you're an agent that has gone through our course, or you're an agent that hasn't gone through our course, but something's working, something that you feel that you want to share with others, again, don't have a scarcity mindset. We're all about giving and raising the bar for the industry. Please don't keep that a secret. Let us know. And I'm going to drop in the comment section right now the direct link, for you, where you can literally come on screen. So I've just typed that in right now for those of you that are watching. We got Tucson, Arizona. Thanks for watching from Arizona. But on the screen right now, that is the direct link where I can literally, you don't have to download anything. You literally click on that link and it'll pop up that I see that somebody's waiting, and we will bring you on. Maybe you can see I'm wearing the 10X gear here. Cardone, 10X Life. Uh, if you guys have any questions about what 10X is, it's whatever you're thinking about doing, whether you're in real estate like most of you watching are, or you're just an audience member listening and you're connected with me on LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter. 10X means whatever you're going to try to do to 10X better, 10X more productive, 10X more impacting people's lives, 10X financially more beneficial to you or your family. 10X is a different mindset, shoot for the stars, land on the moon type of thing. And 10X, whether you're a former athlete, a current athlete, you coach athletes, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, getting the most out of your talent is really the key here. So, all right. So everybody, can you hear me okay? Everybody good? All right, good. Just let me know what questions anybody has. What I want to cover today, well, we have a lot of different topics we want to cover from today, but just one thing that I want to remind everybody watching this is I do believe the following. I believe that the fastest way for an agent to get instant credibility from their database and their sphere and their social media connections and people that know them, like them, trust them is when you get those high end and those unique properties. It's like that instant credibility. And so that's what we're talking about today. We're going to be talking about, on future episodes, right, is helping you as an agent attract more of those unique opportunities, those high end properties, those buyers, those sellers. And that's what we're focusing on today. Again, just a couple housekeeping reminders. I do believe that the next screen I'm going to share with you is vitally important. No matter if you're a newer agent, you're a seasoned veteran, you're an agent that needs a reminder once in a while. I do believe in this Daniel Kahneman quote. He said, people would rather do business with someone they like and they trust rather than someone they don't, even if that likable person is offering a lower quality product and service at a higher price. So take a look at that quote. I'll let it sit and resonate on the screen, and I'm just going to grab a sip of water. 1 second, please. All right, so just getting a refill in the water. Again, I'm a little under the weather, a little congested, so forgive my nasally voice today. All right, those of you again that are watching live on Instagram, I can't field questions on Instagram. I use a service out there that pushes it out to different platforms. Unfortunately, Instagram isn't one that we can interact, so I have my phone on right now. Best way to answer questions is go to YouTube, click on Marketing Luxury Group, hit subscribe. You'll see the video, it's streaming, or go to luxuryfridays.com and you'll be able to ask questions. So there we go. Veronica, are you new to this show? If so, let us know how you heard about it. Don't believe seeing you on here before, so thank you, Veronica. All right. So those are some things that I want to point out to you. Now, hey, real quick, I got to point this out to you. Coming live in 13 days. In 13 days, we're going to be coming to you live in person. Our next in-person designation training is going to be in Chicago. You'll see information going across the screen right now on the bottom, but we're going to be doing some amazing, fun trainings coming up throughout the year. But I'll tell you, this one is going to be the gold standard when it comes to luxury events in 2022. Literally, it's going to be at a private country club called Medina. I mean, it's impossible to even get in as a guest there. And so we secured through our preferred lender, and we thank you, John Nolden. We are literally going to be having this event at the Grand Ballroom there. It's just so historical. And then at the end of the At the end of the first day's training on May 12th, we are going to be kicking off the kind of the social, if you will, the open bar session with Jake and Elwood from the Blues Brothers. And then we have, after that, we're going to be doing the mansion tour on day 2. So when we're done with the mansion tour, we're going to go have some deep dish pizza and some Chicago style hot dogs. We're really excited about that. So I want to make sure we covered that. All right. All right. So, all right. First time. All right. Thanks for joining us here, Veronica. All right. So I was going to have a guest on today, but there was a little confusion. And so that guest, I'm going to have a separate interview on Monday, and they're going to be a podcast guest only. They're not in a position really to be on camera right now, doing some health stuff going on. But my good friend Trey Scott. So we're going to talk a little bit about Trey's situation on Monday. But just a couple reminders, man. Your environment. I can't recommend your environment is the key for you to be successful. You know, Zig Ziglar once said, if you hang out with 9 dead broke people, you're bound to be the 10th. Well, I say if you hang out with 9 top producing agents, you're bound to be the 10th. So who are you surrounding yourself with? Who's in your Fab 5? That's going to be really key to you achieving your 2022 goals or not. I mean, bottom line. So that's going to be really, really important. important. So again, I'm fighting through some sickness here, but I want to be here for you guys. I know a lot of you look forward to this each week, and I appreciate you guys being on here. Again, I typed in the link earlier. I show it on the screen right now. If you guys want to jump in, it's called AMA, Ask Me Anything. Anything real estate related. You're a homeowner, you're a home seller. I got people watching this through various live streams. You're a mortgage banker, you're a title rep. You know, you have a question real estate related. Please type it in. We'd be happy to answer you. And yeah, we'll get going with questions here in a minute. Now, the one thing that I did want to cover today, and we cover common topics a lot. We had a closing today for a client, and it's just a good reminder is make sure that your clients, don't assume, but make sure your clients are reminded of what's in the contract up until closing. So for example, if you represent a seller, don't make the assumption that they know that the appliances stay, that they can't sell off the extra refrigerator in the garage because that was part of the contract. So you got to remind your clients. You can't assume they read. You can't assume the attorney or the title company is going to remind them. You have to do that. So a good reminder for those watching is don't make the assumptions that the little things, because you've done it so many times and you've never had a seller, sell the appliances the day before the closing. Don't make that assumption. So that's going to be a real important reminder for you. You represent a buyer. Again, managing your buyer's expectations is important as well. So managing your client's expectations all the way until the closing is important. So if you guys have questions, Brennan Doherty, hey buddy, Brennan, I haven't seen you in a while. How you been? Would love to bring you on. We haven't talked in some time. Thanks for hearing from me. It's great to hear from you. So those are some things that you got to remind your clients, just simple reminders. Final walkthroughs. The expectation, if you represent the seller, the expectation of the buyer on the final walkthrough is that the house is in broom swept condition. They don't want those old paint cans. They don't want the miscellaneous stuff. If you want to text some pictures, I'll run it by to confirm, but plan on getting rid of everything. The house should be completely empty. Okay, they don't want to deal with headaches when they move in. They want a clean slate, so to speak. So that's a good reminder as well. Okay. So these are all reminders that unfortunately are happening day in and day out in real life that we might need to remind our clients on. And so I want to share that with you because those are scenarios that come up a lot. And as an agent, if there is a scenario like that that comes up a lot, you should create a video, an educational video on that. And that's what we call an evergreen topic. So if there's something that comes up a lot, repetitive question, a repetitive situation, you should create evergreen videos. In other words, create a video on each of those topics. And so then when you are talking with the client and you have a closing next week, you remind them of those final punch list items. And you can create it in a video format and type it out in a bullet point too, as well. If you want to text it, depending on your client. If you want to text them the video, that's fine too. Everybody learns differently. But don't make the assumption that although this isn't their first rodeo, they've sold or maybe they haven't. But don't make the assumption. You know what they say when you assume. So you got to make sure that you educate your client throughout the process. You know, sometimes the clients that are business savvy can be the most difficult ones. Sometimes they're the easiest to work with. At the end of the day, our job is to educate. I'd rather explain something to a client and run them by something. Like I have a client today, I offered to do a broker open because the house is unique. It's an amazing location. It's never been on the market before. We've gotten some decent activity on it, but no contract yet. And so I said, want to do a broker open? And he's been a commercial developer and builder in the past. And he said, listen, the agents that came through, they didn't have any buyers. They were just there for the food. And I said, well, you know, you're kind of right, but I want to at least throw it by you so you know that we're giving you some suggestions, and you tell me no, then not to give you the suggestion. And then later you say, well, Mike, why didn't you bring this up? Right. So again, your job is to be a consultant and an advisor to bring ideas up, even if they didn't work previously. Okay. So that's going to be really important. Don't make assumptions and don't be lazy. Okay. Don't be lazy. Always be learning, by the way. Always be learning, always be learning, always be learning. It's the name of the game. You got to always be learning. I mean, I'm trying to learn on topics, you know, right now there's stuff with blockchain and NFTs and fractional ownership. It's a real hot button right now. You want to find out more about that, I'd be happy to connect you with some of my connections. You know, I am they gone through a couple amazing courses on blockchain, and so there's some definitely nuances that you have to be aware of there. So just wanted to make sure we talked about that today. Again, a couple reminders. Where are we at? Oh, there we go too. I'm going to have, I've been trying to get Peter Liu on. He's difficult to get a hold of. This guy's a rock star agent out of Orlando. Peter, his average sale price is $700,000. He's creative. He's outside the box. Peter shared with me when we were in Cabo last month that 3 systems we taught him, he attributed to $8 million in volume. And so we're going to do more and more. We're going to be sharing more and more of those type stories because we think they could benefit you as well. Again, we are in a show and tell industry, guys. And so people are visual by nature. And so if you have a success, if you have something that you want to differentiate yourself, we are in a show and tell industry. You have to remember that. You got to be willing to adapt. There's a reason that Blockbuster, you know, you don't see Blockbusters on every corner like when you and I were a kid, right? Why don't you see Blockbusters on every corner? Because they did not adapt. I grew up a Toys R Us kid. On Friday nights, we hung out at Blockbusters, my buddies and I. They didn't adapt, and they're like dinosaurs. They're extinct. Okay, so you have to be able to adapt. Okay, things move quickly. and I can't share that enough. You have to be able to adapt. And so that's what we're talking about today. And I want to share with you a couple other things. DISC personality. I just did a training yesterday, a lunch and learn, and only 3 people raised their hand about DISC personality. DISC personality, DISC. Maybe you heard of Colby or Myers-Briggs. DISC is the most common in real estate. If I were to talk about clockwise, DISC. The D, if this was the equator here, the equator where my mouse is going across, the equator, above the equator, these are fast-paced D and I's. Below the equator are slower pace S and C's. Okay, so D's stand for dominant, determined, demanding. I's, S's, and C's. Okay, the other day in the training, I got to laugh because I had to tell my kids this story. It was kind of funny. So the other day, and I was doing this training for agents, and I was talking about how, D's they're fast paced, they're dominant, right? They're fast paced. The D's are Michael Jordan's D, right? I's are influencers. S's are supportive. They're great listeners, and then C's are your left brain analytical. Okay, I share that with you because I told a story on how, if you're an agent and you're a fast-paced agent, a D or an I, uh, I said, uh, basically how slower paced buyers will drive D's, meaning like D's and dominant. I said slower paced buyers like S's that can't make a decision for the life of them. They will drive D's nuts. In other words, they'll drive D's like crazy. But these 2 ladies said, "Wait, I heard him say something." And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "You just said D's nuts." So I said D's nuts. I meant like D's crazy, but not D's nuts. And then my kids thought it was funny. So, anyways, uh, let's continue on with uh, DISC personality. DISC. Really important for you guys to understand DISC personality. All right. Any questions for anybody? Any questions? Brennan, Veronica. I'll drop in this link one more time. I'll drop in the link one more time. This is for anybody that wants to jump on here. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Team Goins. I like that logo. That's pretty cool looking. Where are you out of? Let me know where you're out of, and if this is your first Luxury Fridays. That's a cool looking logo, and I have not seen it on here before. So it tells me this is your first Luxury Fridays. We love the returnees. Like Brennan's been a regular, but I'm definitely seeing some new folks on here, which is great to see as well. Where are you out of? Team Goins. You got to let me know where you're out of. If you want me to share your slides, come on now. All right. So I will share the slides when I hear back from you. It tells me you're still listening. You're still with us. So Team Goins, Realtors, tell me where you're out of. Oh, there we go. They're out of Arizona. It's the first time. Okay, so here's the slide. This is the main slide here. That's how the I's are, right? It's happy hour somewhere. The S's, they want to connect. They're great listeners, uh, very supportive. They're not real decisive on things. And then the C's, they're left brain analytical. So, you order a steak, you go out to dinner, you order a steak, doesn't come back the way you want. The D speaks up. The I, they might speak up because they'll just order another drink, no big deal. The S, they won't speak up because they don't want to offend. Everything okay, sir? Everything okay, ma'am? Oh yeah, I'm just not hungry. No, it's cooked raw and you wanted it medium well, but you don't speak up. And then the C, they get caught up on the little things. So those are a quick overview on the DISC personality. I hope that's helpful. All right, let's get on to some questions. How would you objection handle the following? Have you sold a home this high price before? Well, that's a great question. Well, I have had to overcome that objection many times. Matter of fact, the house that's on the cover of my book, Luxury Listing Specialist, it's currently listed with us. It's on the market for $9.5 million. It's a gorgeous home. It's absolutely gorgeous. It was the backdrop for the TV show Empire, matter of fact, on Fox's hit series for 2 seasons. I'm going to show you right now. This house right here. Hold on there for a second. All right, so that's a great question, Brennan. So give me 1 second. I want to share with you something real quick. All right, so this is my, and I'm gonna minimize your question there, Brennan, and so this is my main website as an agent, LuxChicagolandHomes.com, Lux Chicagoland Homes. I'll throw it on there if you want to take a look at it later. So this is my website here, Lux Chicagoland Homes. But if you go to the Our Properties tab and the Featured Listings tab, this main property here is the Empire House. This house currently lists for $9.5 million with us. On that listing appointment, this is the house right here in my book, right here. That guy flat out asked me, how many homes have you sold in this area before? And in this price point. And I hadn't sold any, and I was very honest with them. Never mislead a consumer, be honest, but turn something that could be perceived as a negative into a positive. Say, Mr. Sell, I haven't sold anything in this price point or in this area before, but you've been listed with a couple other agents before interviewing me, and they didn't get your home sold either. So, you can go with the traditional route, hire someone locally, or if you want to do something unconventional. I mean, right now it's in your price point, Mr. Seller, and in this case it was, and it still is. For example, in Illinois last year, there were only 4 single-family home sales outside of downtown Chicago above $7 million. 4. And the highest in the last 10 years in this town has been 4.9, I think. So do you want to go with someone that does the same thing as everybody else, or do you want to go an unconventional way, Mr. Seller? Do you want to hire somebody that's aggressive and thinks outside the box, that's got a proven track record of selling difficult and unique properties, maybe not in this case Barrington Hills, but in name drop town. And then what I call stack the offer. You want to do a great job of stacking the offer, okay? And I don't care if you sell homes, you sell cars, you sell coffee, you sell marijuana products, whatever you do, be a great job of stacking your offer to differentiate yourself from the competition. So what I would do there is I would say, so Brennan, do you see how hiring an agent who utilizes video to highlight the best features of your home, and in this case, your 8 acres, could net you an extra 0.5% to 1% through more eyeball traffic on YouTube. Do you see how, question number 2, do you see how, and then you don't say question 2, question 3, but I'm just saying this to you. Do you see how hiring an agent who's well connected, not just here in Chicagoland, but globally, can help get you more exposure perhaps into some of those feeder markets where buyers are moving from? Do you see how that can potentially help get your home sold faster, maybe net you another 0.5% to 1% more? And then he asks the next question. Mr. Seller, do you see how hiring an agent who negotiates for your money and your hard-earned dollars just as if it was their own, how that's going to net you an extra 0.5%, and you're stacking the offer, stacking the offer, stacking the offer, stacking the offer, stacking the offer. So you're differentiating yourself, and you're taking their focus off of, man, Brennan hasn't sold a lot of $9.5 million homes, but man, I like him. He's aggressive, and everybody needs that first one. So I hope that helps you, Brennan. I hope that helps you. Have you sold a home in this area before? The answer for me would be no, but how would you get past that? Well, I just answered that, I think, too, for you. All right, perfect. So some good questions. Good questions. Don't forget, part of the reason we incentivize our groups on our Luxury Fridays to ask questions, if you're watching the live stream, is we want engagement, right? They call these AMA, Ask Me Anything. And so we want engagement. So these are all just some things on your website that I recommend while I got it up. You want to, of course, have a home search on your main neighborhoods, so this, if you click neighborhoods, these are some neighborhoods throughout Chicagoland, suburbs. So you got Chicago, you got western suburbs, North Shore, Gold Coast, Winnetka, Wheaton, Hinsdale, Barrington Hills, Burr Ridge. Okay. You have video gallery. I've done a lot of videos. This is my first video ever. It would be 8 years ago we did this video. I brought in horses, cars, actors. I was the first in the entire Midwest to do a lifestyle video. I brought in 2 film crews. The owner called it the new age of marketing homes today. There's the horse I brought in. There's a team member fishing. Pick music that's high, upbeat music. Pick upbeat music. You guys get the idea, but we did that 8 years ago. Talk about setting the bar. We set the bar in Chicagoland on videos, and we've been continuing to, create videos just like that. Yeah, these have been some of the fun videos we've created for sure. All right, and then press and media. If you've been if you've been featured in local or national press, you know, there's credibility there. So, you know, this is on our website. We speak at a lot of different conferences and sold some athletes' homes. And um, so, you know, that's our press and media tab. All right. Oh, by the way, since I'm over here, we're under 13 days away now, I guess, from the start of of the training. But May 12th and May 13th, you guys can go to luxurydesignation.com. If you do go there, scroll on down. There's information on the hotel and everything. But it's going to be a tremendous event. But make sure you watch this video here, the Napa video. That's going to give you a snippet of what the event will be like on May 12th and May 13th. I hope this has, you know, been helpful for you guys to this point. Does anybody else have any questions that you'd like to ask me today on this Luxury Fridays? Again, I have a good friend that I'm going to be interviewing on an upcoming podcast. I'll get you guys a replay of that. Trey Scott's battling some tough heart issues right now, and medical bills are just piling up. It's been really tough. So I'm going to be raising awareness for anybody that wants to donate to Trey's cause. And let me try to find that link too in here. Anybody that donates to Trey Scott's will be entered into a raffle where we'll be giving away some coaching and some different services. Let me find that. But I'll give you guys some time to think about that as well. Where is the link here? Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna drop this GoFundMe link in there. I told him I would do this. He's a friend, and I would hope that he would do something like this for me if I were ever in need. And that's you know, that's the sign of a true friendship, right? True friendship is not just when things are going great, you do something for somebody. Or if you haven't seen them for a while, you do something for somebody, you know. And I have, you know, one of the best mentors I can ever think of is my father, for a man of forgiving others, and won't go into details on this live stream, but heart of gold. And so you know, if you had differences with people, do the right thing. Do the right thing. It's really really saddens me to share with you a story how, you know, through this whole COVID, there's been friendships lost because certain people were for mask or anti-mask, or anti people that decided not to wear mask, or decided maybe to question authority on some things. And literally there were a lot of friendships lost, including someone dear to my wife. And I'm just dumbfounded how somebody could be like family and then just ghost on them for no explanation. No, it still, it baffles me. It baffles me. So if there's something that's bothering you, maybe someone bothered, you know, you did something to bother somebody, you know, ask, well, hey, did I do something? You know, did I step on your toes? Are we good? Because life's just too short. I'd rather ask than not know, than not knowing. Like the great Tom Petty, man, is he got some great songs. The waiting is the hardest part, right? I'd rather not wait to figure out. I'd rather take the bull by the horns and be directed. Ask somebody, hey, are we good? Did something happen? So I know I'm getting off a little bit off of the topic of real estate today, right now, but these are some deeper topics we're talking about. I got Trey Scott's GoFundMe up there right now. Check out what Trey's battling, but just a great man. He's a Keller Williams productivity coach. And he saw me speak years ago. And I remember I was at a Keller Williams family reunion in 2000, actually probably 2020. And he saw me. He's like, hey, you know, and I recognize them, but you know, I'm sometimes need reminders of who people are, and man, just don't take for granted your health, but also don't take for granted friendships. And friendship should be, you know, you should be there for people in good times or bad times. And if there's something that someone did, or maybe you heard they did, give them the benefit of the doubt. Please, we need more forgiveness in this world, right? Love is not just love if you vote the same way as somebody. Love is love thy enemy. Uh, so, anyways, I'm on my soapbox a little bit. Maybe that's the maybe that's the medication I'm on or something. So, anyways, I am a little congested. I had a little sickness this week. I'm dealing with a little bit of head cold, but we're all good right now. So, any questions on anything? Again, we'd love to give away our objection handling playing cards. We give those out as a prize um, for people that ask thought-provoking questions or the most questions, or if somebody comes on camera. If you guys want to come on camera, don't forget, I'd love to bring you on camera. All you got to do is click on that link that's on the screen right now, or type it in your browser, I guess, but clicking on the link would be easier. What's up, Reagan? Mike LaFido, I'm proud of you down in Atlanta. I'm a little under the weather. Those of you that are watching on Instagram, the best way to tune into Luxury Fridays is through YouTube or Facebook. And the best way to do that is go to luxuryfridays.com, and the top link will be the most updated, upcoming Luxury Fridays. So we'll post something a little bit later. All right, let's see any other questions. Oh, look at that. Look at this. If you'd like, I would be more than happy to pray with you, as I am a minister. Oh, look at that. Hey, I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. I could always use more prayers. So that was very nice of you. So yes, please pray for my health, but pray for forgiveness of some people that might have some wrong feelings against me or my wife or something. I don't know what's going on in today's world. All I can do, be you, try to build others up. You know, apologize if you hurt people's feelings, and you know, just keep plugging away, guys. I don't know what to tell you. So hey, Kathy, how are you? What is the most expensive home sold in the U.S. in 2021? Well, I believe it was Beverly Hills. I think I want to say one just sold there for $100 and something million. I was just at Inman, New York last week, and I met a gal who sold the first $100 million property in the U.S. ever. That was pretty cool. I think now she lives on the East Coast somewhere. So that was pretty cool. But Kathy, I don't know that answer off the top of my head. I don't want to guesstimate for you. Anybody want to Google that while I'm on live? That'd be great. There's a lot of off-market sales in those price points that we don't even know about, but maybe someone can dig up the highest priced sale in 2022 that is on record. Forgive me again for being under the weather. All right. For 2022, that's another good question. So what's the most expensive home for 2021 and 2022? We will share those next week. Next week we'll be here at the normal time, so it's hard to say, but next week is May 6th already. May 6th. Sunday is May 1st. We are almost in the month of May. Again, every market is different, and COVID has leveled the playing field a lot. But from a Chicago land, Illinois, Midwest perspective, you know, March, April, May have been the three primary best months to sell a home or perhaps buy a home, historically speaking. June's still really hot, but things slow down in July and August. So we are in the prime months, even COVID or not, April and May. So guys, really pound the pavement. You know, we have seen the National Association of Realtors came out with some data this week. And for the 5th consecutive month, we've seen a decrease in the number of house sales. So 5 months in a row from the previous month, we've had less home sales, 5 months in a row. Talking to agents at these conferences, they're seeing the same thing. You know, they're seeing price adjustments now, where some markets they haven't seen price adjustments. So we're definitely seeing the market slow down a little bit. Interest rates have gone up. Inflation, as you know, have skyrocketed. And I was just in California recently, and it was $6 a gallon for premium. So, you know, those are some real factors that are pushing down on consumer confidence. But overall, I'd still say it's a strong market. Don't mislead the consumer ever, but be positive, right? Life is what drives real estate. Somebody's getting married, which means they got to buy a house or rent a house. Somebody's expecting, they need more room. Somebody relocated. Somebody's retiring. Somebody just lost a job. Somebody unfortunately died or is getting divorced. That's what drives our business. That's what drives real estate. It's not Biden's president or interest rates are 5.25. Now, if interest rates get like they do in the early 1980s, that might be an issue. So, you know, great question, Kathy. It's great to have you on here. It's been a while since I've seen you. 100 million could be a fun up here. What is a suggestion to start meeting luxury clientele? That's a great question. Great question. Let's tackle that here. That might be a great question to answer. And before I answer that, I got Veronica chiming in saying there was a $177 million sale in 2021. Well, thanks for sharing that, Veronica. So the suggestions that I would have for you, Kathy, or anybody else is think of Robert De Niro and Meet the Parents, right? He talked about the circle of trust. The circle of trust is difficult to penetrate, right? From the movie Meet the Parents from 2000. Remember that movie? And so the circle of trust. By the way, just a couple of reminders, guys. Luxury Fridays is that's where you can sign up for these upcoming trainings, or you guys can go to joinluxegroup.com if you're curious and you want more links and more access to us. You can go to joinluxegroup.com. But Kathy, you're getting back to your question. And guys, I'm struggling a little bit, but show up, right? You got to show up. So one of the things I recommend to agents is, you know, join the Chamber of Commerce in those communities that you want to serve those upper price points. So if the market that you're in doesn't really have a lot of those upper price point homes, you might join that chamber 20 minutes away, a half hour away. I joined one in Hinsdale, Illinois, 45 minutes away. And I'd go to those meetings regularly, even though I didn't know anybody there. I just joined an office there. And shortly afterwards, people are like, man, who is this guy? We see you all over the place. It's kind of like the reticulator activator. It's the part of your brain that heightens your awareness of certain things. Pregnant women, notice other pregnant women. You buy a new car, you see that car all over the road. Well, I was top of mind awareness. Okay. And there's a term we've talked about that. It's coming out on one of our blogs, one of our video educational vlogs, talking about that. When you are just repetitive engagement, you're all over, man. People see you all over. You know, my preferred loan officer talks about this story, how he was talking to a guy who was on the phone, and the guy saw his billboard in town in Elmhurst, Illinois. And then when he got to the restaurant, that he's got the dog bowl stations at all the restaurants that the dogs can drink water on, with his sponsored by John Nolden. And then his cell phone was running low, and so they had these cell phone charging stations at all the restaurants with his name on it. And then he went to go pay the bill, and the guy provided his pens. So that's called repetitive engagement. You want to be top of mind awareness when you're market. So getting back to Kathy's question in regards to, it's on the screen here, what is a good suggestion to meet luxury clientele? You might join a chamber that services those upper price point communities or gated communities or towns, because those are their clients. And so if you are around other business owners that cater to the high net worth individuals and you become likable, and the best way I believe to get a referral is give a referral. So if you're giving value and giving referrals within those business owners in those communities, reciprocity. Everybody knows a realtor, but you'll be top of mind awareness. That's number one. Number two, which might cost some money. Number one doesn't. It costs time. By the way, it's either time or money. Like there's no easy button, and I know you're not asking for that, Kathy, but
that was easy.
There's no easy button when it comes to this question, or breaking into luxury or dominating luxury. Okay, it's either going to cost you time, money, or both. So that first one is a lot of time, right? You got to go to networking, you talk to people, you grow your database. The other might be time and money, and that might be going to some of those places. Where do they eat? Where do they frequent? Where do they have a beer after work? And those could be places that you would be meeting these people. Okay. And that's how I would recommend. And and that's how you slowly build relationships. And all it takes is one. You get in with one person and you do a great job. It's like the circle of trust, right? They'll refer you to their network. Oh, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate the fighting through this, whatever I'm dealing with today. So thank you, sir. So great question. And thank you for everybody for your time today. What I'm going to do is I'll give it one more minute for another question that anybody has. Just a couple housekeeping items that I want to remind you. Again, if you guys do have any interest in coming to Chicago, please, it's scrolling across the bottom right now. It's Luxury Fridays. You can go to luxuryfridays.com. You'll see the link there. We try to put every link to where Michael's speaking next, etc. Our main website is, for people that are looking for our designation, is just luxurylistingspecialist.com. And when you go to luxurylistingspecialist.com, I'll show you what that looks like. Literally, you'll see there's pictures of events, and if you go into the upcoming events tab right there, you'll see our upcoming event is right here on May 12th, the designation event. Okay, so that's our upcoming event, or literally go to luxurydesignation.com, luxurydesignation.com. All right, you guys have been great today. I really appreciate everybody. Any other questions? Going once, going twice? No other questions. So just to keep a couple housekeeping items, guys. If you are watching this replay, please shoot us an email. I'll type that on my screen right now. Michael@marketingluxurygroup.com. Michael@marketingluxurygroup. And please let us know what questions you have. I also put this on the screen here in a second too. So Michael@marketingluxurygroup. Hopefully I typed right today. Yep. Michael@marketingluxurygroup. That's the best email for us, and the best way to connect with me. People like to always say, well, what's the best way to connect? Well, that's a good question. The best way to connect with me is probably via email, but you guys can go to luxuryfridays.com, or Michael@marketingluxurygroup.com, And that sign says it all. It's behind me. If you can see me over my shoulder, prove them wrong. It's not just a fancy sign. It's my motto. When somebody says you can't do something, I love proving others wrong. I love the NFL draft. Right now, the NFL draft, I showed a picture yesterday, if those of you that are connected with me on social media, an old high school picture of me. But the NFL draft, I love the stories when people weren't highly recruited out of high school and whatever it is. Those should inspire you. I love the overachiever. I saw a guy, Mel Kiper, yesterday. He said, I'd rather a guy that runs slower, that he's timed slower, but plays fast, than a guy that runs fast, but plays slow. No different. I coach my kids in sports. You give me that overachieving person all day, I'll work with them. So Brennan, when you tell me that story, when you haven't sold a home in that area or that price point, how can you be open to them? By the way, Brennan, if you've never received our objection handling playing cards, I can't remember if we sent them to you. Make sure you contact us. Brennan, send us an email. You should have. We've had so many guests on and contributors. I get some of them confused. Forgive me. So, so with that being said, guys, continue to prove others wrong. Don't listen to the naysayers. Thrive off of it. Thrive off of it. And I hope that is your mantra, because it's one of my mantras as well. And really appreciate everybody. So we will be on next week live, same time on May 6th, 11 a.m. My name is Michael LaFido. You guys have been excellent. Continue to raise the bar. Have a great weekend. Hey, forgive others. Be slow to judge. Okay? Be slow to judge. Love on others no matter who they vote for. What matter if they have a mask on or if they don't. Come on, guys. Let's make this world a better place. When I see all these love means love, it doesn't just mean love means love if they vote the way you vote. Okay? Have a great day, guys. Make it a great weekend, and I appreciate everybody. Michael LaFido. This has been another episode of Luxury Fridays. I'm your host, Michael LaFido. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com. And if you're committed to increasing your average sale price in 2022 and beyond, you should seriously consider signing up for our upcoming event in Chicagoland. Go to luxurydesignation.com, luxurydesignation.com. My name is Michael LaFido. Make it a great day and prove others wrong. Take care.